Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome. Let's get some music going here. Since we're still in the DLC of no music. Hopefully the stream stays up here. My computer's blue screened like 4 times today already. It's being very temperamental. So if the stream suddenly dies, you'll know what happened. Okay, so we're still in Old World Blues. We've been everywhere. All we got left to do now is go to the Forbidden Zone. Finish this. Go get our brain back. I'm expecting there to be lots and lots of scorpions.
Tail locking on.
Speaking of which...
You won't escape me. Stop that! You'll damn it! Stop that! You won't escape.
No, this is the robot. The robot DLC where the guy steals your brain. X-42 Robo Welfare Facility.
Attention visitors. Combat experiment in progress. Please put on your goggles and take your rad X now. The X-42 giant
Oh, wow.
scorpion is alive! Awaken my pet! Initiate your search and destroy protocol in the name of all that is Mobius! You can't avoid the deadly laser sting of Dr. Mobius!
Okay. Yeah, a giant fucking super scorpion. 6,300 XP. Wow. Alright then. Did you drop anything interesting? Nothing super exciting. The legendary bloatfly was very tough. We did manage to kill it though. Up here. The amount of, like, cigarette cartons you can find in packs and stuff. I wonder that everybody in the wasteland doesn't smoke. What the? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, it seems normal and not broken at all. Whee! I'm guessing you could, like, sneak up here and turn those turrets against the Scorpion if you're somehow a non-combat character in this game. New target, X-42 giant robo-scorpion. Yeah. So you can just turn the turrets against it. A little late for that. Uh-oh. 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 Ow. Emergency shutdown terminal. Maybe we can just shut the fucking Scorpion off altogether. For instructions from the higher-ups after that one time, the giant Robo-Scorpion's attack routine malfunctioned. We've installed an emergency shutdown procedure. Let's hope we never have to use it. Prototype systems will all be fried, and we won't be up and running again for weeks. The military is expecting delivery of a battle-ready model within 6 months. The project's already had enough delays. Man, when we hit level 50, we will get enough to get Bar to 100. We have 100 in every single skill, except for melee and unarmed. Audio sample of Mobius's Robo-Scorpion. You found a recalibration file for the sonic emitter. Take it to the jukebox. Yeah. cool. Dr. Mobius here.
Oh, hello there. You are there, aren't you? Forgive my confusion. So hard to tell these days. You seem familiar somehow. I'm guessing you're here for your brain, perhaps? It's just up there. Such a nice brain, young, very bright. Little hard to see you. Can you walk into my left, right FOV cone? Ah, that's it. You're coming into focus nicely.
Is that better?
Depth perception is a problem with this old monitor of mine. Went black a while ago. That's old age for you. Should look at getting the visual nerves reattached. It's just that the right eye would see the wrong things. The flying tortoises were the worst. Would you care for a mentat?
I'll save it for later.
I love mentats. Delicious and smarty. I have all sorts of amazingly science-terrific thoughts and ideas when those chalky tablets are zipping through my biogel. I forget them all not long after, though, especially with the data constipating my memory core. Afraid binary streams might shoot out my chassis. Had to start using the dome floor and walls here to inscribe equations, although I've somewhat lost track of where they start and end.
You aren't exactly what I was expecting.
Really? That implies preconceived notions, theories, and a hypothesis about this meeting? Please extrapolate. What was I supposed to be like? After all, it might be worth a cognitive realignment if your theoretical Mobius is better than I.
Why'd you steal my brain?
Oh, a variety of reasons. You're something of a homily. Anomaly? You're really quite special, and not in the cranially challenged way. You see, you are the most successful brain extraction experiment ever performed here at Big Mountain. A victim of your own success, as it were. If you were to go back with what your brain knows about the procedure, well, your brain could be popped back in and you could walk right out of here. Can't have brains moving around of their own volition.
Why is that a problem?
I'm not sure, except that I'm sure there's a very good reason for it. I have very good reasons for almost everything I do. Even if I forget them occasionally. Although I feel
Hey,
this
Fox.
one is especially important. Oh, well.
I need my brain back.
Do you? You seem fine without it. And does it even want to go back with you? Maybe you should ask it. It's quite independent, has all manner of opinions. Tell you what, I'll leave it up to your brain. If it wants to go, then fine. If not, well, you should respect its wishes. Oh, curiosity. I experience that less now that I know everything. Oh, maybe it was when I found out some unpleasant answers.
On my function without a brain, Tesla coils. Is the explanation that you're given. I can't fix your monitor, but if you're getting ghost reception, I could fix that.
The ghosts aren't real? That changes everything. Why, I can save my computing power for other perceptual impossibilities. Please be my guest. The receptor is there. And the side-switching wobbly bob, just turn that. Good, good, better. Oh, yes, that feels wonderful. This is even better than my afternoon mentats break.
Can you tell me about your roboscorpions?
Well, every scientist needs an army. Mine came to me after these rather large scorpions kept coming in from the desert, like poisonous frosting. How scary, I thought. But they had survived when nothing else had. Perfect candidates for improvement as a reward for their tenacity. Then I thought, what if they shot energy bolts and acted as walking eyes and data-drained computers and acted as bullhorns? Then I made them bigger.
Hey, so.
Then I thought about custard. I do so love custard. Or was it mustard? Mustard custard. I miss sugars and salts. I find...
You don't seem aggressive. Why broadcast threats to the think tank?
Oh, I was probably tripping hard on Psycho when I sent that. Had to work myself up to it. Not usually violent, except when I am. Then, watch out! So many chems, such varieties. Whenever I take mentats, I can feel my entire chassis breathe like a big spherical lung. As for the Psycho, sometimes get the chem dispositories in my tank all switched up. Go in the wrong tube. Still, served its purpose.
Wait, sounds like you built the roboscorpions and issued threats to keep the think tank occupied.
Did I? Maybe I did.
Hey, Franks.
Can't have them leaving. Some reason for it. Ethics or, conscience? You and your brain are quite alike. I'm sure it knows the reasons better than I do.
Everything you've told me doesn't add up. Your plan, even your name, Mobius.
Dr. Mobius. Rather catchy, isn't it? It's my name, and my new name overrode the old one. This name's as real as you or I, although I believe your brain expressed similar incredulity at the nature of such an appellation. Someone's been watching too many old-world science fiction movies, it said. I believe it meant me. I must admit I have a vulnerability for holotape fantasies of planets and robots and all that is forbidden. As for the name I was born with, like the think tank, we were all reprogrammed to forget them, take on new names. It enforces the recursion loop in our perception programming.
You reprogram their names as part of a recursion loop. What, to trap their processors?
Now, trap is a rather harsh word, like excrement. Not an inappropriate word, but still rather harsh. But, yes, I did take some liberties with their programming. It's all right, they don't remember. I certainly didn't until you said trap, and then I said excrement, and then...
Why'd you trap them?
The radar fence to keep the think tank hemmed in wasn't really enough. They keep testing things. They would have found a way to disarm it. I suspect I have Plan 9s in place, but I may have coded myself to forget them, just in case. They're probably very dangerous, lethal, or worse. So I had to do something else to keep them occupied here. Or as you like to say, trapped. I prefer to have several Plan 9s in case the 7s fail.
9, Mobius, zeros, circle, 8's an infinity symbol. They're all loops. I get it.
Oh, you figured it out. No pun intended. Dr. O, which is actually not his real name multiplied, since you can't multiply his real name in the first place. Ouroboros, Klein, they have all forgotten themselves. And not only themselves, but the world, sense of time, and history. All that is left is what's here. I reprogrammed their chronometers, geometers, and cartography programs. This is now their world, here, Big Mountain. It was a merciful lobotomy, really, thinking back. They were my friends, but sometimes they would take things too far. And the world isn't ready for that kind of too-far thing-taking. That's my professional opinion, anyway. And I am told I was once quite professional.
Minor detail, but a snake devouring its own tail is Ouroboros, not Ouroboros.
Really? It is so unlike me to make an error in anything I do.
If you lobotomize the think tank, why terrorize them?
Well, it's simple. Despite their many failings, they are rather bright. They are the think tank for a reason. That I didn't change. Without something to distract them, make them afraid, they would simply deduce what had happened. And when they start deucing it up, then you came along, the final variable solved. They saw that their world was larger than they perceived. Bacteria, finally able to see its host.
There must have been other signs of a larger world.
There have been other visitors to make them doubt their perceptions, but you are the one who dialed back their monitor micromagnifiers. You were irrefutable proof that there was a world outside. And then there was the whole brain fiasco, which forced me to take steps. See, your brain had a special kind of wrinkle, a uniquity that they had never thought to try in all their countless escape attempts.
The bullet that went into my brain? Doc Mitchell tried to patch me up.
Yes, very good. I should have mentats in just you instead of the other way around. Mentats. In any event, you showed up at the think tank, and because you had suffered a cranial injury in just the right place, bullets in the head are usually much more fatal, and yours was a light case of bullet headitis. But it was enough for the autodoc in the sink to change its programming to fix the problem, and the brain extraction technology for once worked. That gave the think tank the knowledge its brains couldn't possess. With that knowledge, the procedure can be reversed. If they obtain that procedural data, they can use it to mush and modify their cranial selves into hosts to slip past the radar fence. I'm sure of it. And once they're off the reservation...
Hey, Doomsday. Klein said they had the idea to get 3 technologies after your broadcast. Coincidence?
I consider coincidence to be profanity, along with the words astrology, herbal tea, and luck. So watch it, potty mouth. My threat broadcast is designed to instill and install fear. And along with the emotional download, other data rides the fear carrier wave. It prompted them to focus on retrieving those technologies and bring them to attack me. And coincidentally, pardon my language, all those technologies are needed to put a brain, your brain, back into its skull properly.
If the think tank downloaded the schematics, not the items, they can rebuild them.
Oh, that means my plan is a total failure. That is unfortunate. Oh well, at least I tried.
Is there any other data transmitted in your threat broadcast?
Yes, my overly aggressive cammed-up broadcast was designed to keep reinforcing the forget, fear, rinse, and repeat program. Oh, and the get me the things to castrate your only possible escape attempt. But I couldn't delete you or your arrival any more than I could the other visitors. Only so much science can do when you started talking to them. You're really quite difficult to ignore, you know. It's because you're, well, rather intriguing, if you'll forgive an old brain for saying so.
What's the purpose of the technologies?
The X2 antenna can be used to focus your alpha wave frequency thought patterns. The sneaky suit, why, it houses a cardiac regulator. And the sonic sound wave projecto emitter was never intended as a weapon. It was a medicinal vertebrae pulse desensitizer. In short, brains, a heart, and courage. Spine. I think there was a story once where a band of murderous thugs sought these things. They had them all the time in the story. Didn't stop them from murdering to get them. And it won't stop the think tank either. Yes. Indeed. The goodbye part of our little chat then. Goodbye. Please mind the equations on the floor.
Okay then. What was that?
I'm running out of floor space for my calculations.
So many mentats in this DLC. Oh god, speaking of mentats. Hey, Lucian. How you doing? More sarsaparilla. Must have more sarsaparilla. It's time to become the world's most successful mentat dealer.
I do so love integers.
My brain.
Well, well, look who finally dragged themselves in out of the wasteland. And where have we been, Crawling through pits of radioactive muck again?
Are you my brain?
Ah, lovely. Figured that out, have we? Would you like a cookie?
Why are you such a dick?
Well, that's a fine how do you do. Me, quote, dick, unquote. As if I'm the one responsible for the way you carry on gadding about the wastes. I'm not the one that makes us clamber around Technus-infested ancient vaults or go charging off to New Vegas on missions of ill-conceived revenge. And have we forgotten who got us shot in the head and buried in a shallow grave? Do you think I enjoyed that little moment?
Of course you're responsible. You're my brain.
I most certainly am not. I'm the seat of all reason and logic in our little partnership. All those feelings that motivate you, those urges to hurt people, to take and crush and maim, do you know where they come from? Glands. They come from glands. Free of the tyranny of your ape-like and primitive endocrine system, I can see how foolish your motives are.
But you're the source of most of those glands, unless you're arguing that my thyroid is to blame.
Well, look, it's all a very complex system of biofeedback and other things I wouldn't expect you to understand.
Admit it, you're just as glandular as I am.
Oh, all right. Perhaps I am, but at least I'm logical about it.
Don't you want to be reunited? I thought you'd be happy to get back into my head.
I'm not going to lie to you. The prospect is definitely not that appealing. Look at it from my perspective. Here I have peace, quiet, and safety. Well, barring the odd rogue scorpion. In your head, I've got poison, radiation, grisly injuries, and biological functions. Do you know how much more you can get done when you're not constantly looking for places to urinate? It's quite a lot, I can tell you.
What about the good things? What about crushing those who oppose you? The smell of fire and loot?
All motivated by nothing but an imbalance in certain brain chemicals. The tank corrects for that. I feel no urge toward antisocial behavior.
Isn't it just as true that you only feel this way because you're lacking those hormones?
I suppose you're right. That does call certain assumptions into question, doesn't it?
So we're in an impasse. You can't feel what I feel, and I can't think the way you think.
Indeed. Quite the conundrum. How do you suppose we resolve it?
I think we have to trust each other and acknowledge that we aren't complete if we're separated.
I suppose there might be some advantage to that, yes. There's a chance that the reintegration would create some improved synergy between us.
So what do you say, Brain? Join me for some more wild adventures?
Well, I suppose you've convinced me well enough. I'll rejoin your body if that's your final decision. Unfortunately, before we get to that stage of the proceedings, we have a problem. Even if I could settle myself back in your skull and reconnect all those pesky nerve endings, Dr. Mobius doesn't have the tools here. We would have to make use of Dr. Klein's lab, and I rather doubt the brains are inclined to share.
Why, they promised to put us back together once I did what they wanted.
And you believe them? Really? I know you were recently deprived of my fabulous advice, but... Really? Once I'm delivered into their clutches, they'll find a way past the radar fence and the whole Mojave will be their playground. And that is assuming, of course, that one of them doesn't take a fancy to our body and decide to slip his own brain into it instead.
You're part of me. I know you don't want to let that happen any more than I do.
Well, I suppose I do miss those endorphin rushes when we save the day. All right, What's the plan?
If the think tank won't hold up their bargain, we'll make them. Let's go.
Right. Look out, think tank. This brain is coming out of its jar.
I suppose now that we're reunited, you'll want to fill your torso up with those other meaty parts the think tank took from us. Personally, I think your upgrades are quite a bit better. But now that I'm with you, the Sync's autodock can plug them back in no problem. Right then, off we go. Klein will be in for a nasty shock when he realizes the pacification field won't work on a mind and body reunited.
And we are now max level. Is there like a level 50 perk? Yep. Maybe you were bad once, but you ain't like that now. Your karma's been reset to 0. You regenerate action points 50% faster, or 25% faster. And your attack speed is increased by 20%. You're also immune to critical hits. Okay. That seems a little fucking ridiculous. Deal. Yes, all that stealing I did was all part of my plan. Boom, 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 boom.
I see you and your brain reached a compromise. How pleasant. I hypothesized after the indignant frequencies my receptors had recepted, such a partnership-based conclusion would be low on the likely scale.
The brain told me the think tank needs to be stopped. Can you help?
If I recall, I had a plan that was working, whatever it was. I don't think it reached fruition. I would recall fruit if it had happened. I wasn't trying to kill them, just keep them out of trouble. What was that plan? Blast. I probably wrote it down on the floor somewhere.
What was the plan you had?
Something ingenious and needlessly complicated, I expect. I may have already told you and forgotten it. I forgot I had forgotten pencils until one day I found one. Spent days studying its purpose before my memory circuit kicked in. Felt quite silly.
Any tactics I could use to attack them?
That will be difficult. It would be like fighting 5 scaled-down versions of me that have better depth perception. And they have an arsenal of vivisectors, brainial beams, and a rather nasty wee-wee ray that can make your atoms do a happy dance. If you could survive those highly improbable odds and ends, then deceasing them is definitely an option. Although, I doubt killing them would do anything except make you feel better. Or let you brag to other humans about your primal violentness.
Anything I could do to stop them that doesn't require violence?
Well, you could try and appeal to their humanity. That's a tired cliche. And really, when they were humans, they weren't very good humans.
Any suggestions for how to make them change their minds?
Well, there's many things they have forgotten, sitting in their bowls. Friendship, the thrill of discovery, love, masturbation, the usual. Much like your brain, I am certain there is something you can spark within each of them. Memories, hormones. A wise man once said, "The eyes do more than see." Make them see, if you can. Or, if not, you can always make them succumb to fear. It certainly worked for me, for a time. Then you came along, and bravery and/or desperation trumped that little idea. Back to the drawing board, I suppose. Or is this the end? Hard to tell.
Scare them? How?
Oh, tell them I'm still alive. We had a nice chat, and we agree on a few things. That's true, isn't it? Or you could kill me and lie about it. Either way, it would be interesting. And if you are partial to lying and deception, well, you could tell them a ludicrous lie. The more over the top, the better. That's my experience. They're more than a little gullible. Better make it convincing, though, or it'll be the dissection table and vivisectors for you. And if you speak of me, please try and make me look good. I am Dr. Mobius, after all, not some lab assistant teacher's aide. Indeed, the good...
Alright. Still gotta get more friggin' field of biological research here. I'm guessing these are seeds for the planter. Fuck it. They're just like outside. Will the new Fallout get a new engine? I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. Maybe if it's not Bethesda who makes it, since Microsoft owns the franchise, they could get anybody they want to work on it. So if it's like if Obsidian works on it or something, then maybe it'd be like Unreal 4 or Unreal 5 now, I guess. Fuck. Hey, Doctor. But if it's Bethesda working on the next Fallout, then no, it's going to be the same shit. Yeah, Bethesda's busy with Starfield and I guess Elder Scrolls 6 eventually. There's a distinct possibility that In Exile is working on the next Fallout. They've been hiring a bunch of people with first-person gaming experience, so that might be what we end up with. We shall see.
What's the haps?
Why isn't the Scorpion an option?
Is the light level to your liking?
Oh, it just add. Okay.
What's the haps?
The sticker, it just said the sticker's added, but it's not an option. I'm confused. Oh, well, whatever. It's not like we're ever going to use that thing ever again once we're done with this. Where is the planter? There you are.
You got some plans for me, don't you? Yeah.
Damn, we had a lot of seeds. Alright, we're now gonna grow like every plant type in this entire game.
Someday, I'd like to meet the man.
Perhaps.
He's got no blues to sing.
Oh, I have to actually like
Right up.
click the thing. Robo Scorpion. $72 DPS. Yay. Critical strike causes explosions on critical hit. Okay. Why would I want my original spine and heart back? Aren't these like new ones better? Dr. Klein awaits. Make sure you're prepared to finish this once and for all. It's better to get your original stuff back? That's weird. But okay. Where's our auto dog? Auto dog.
You require some additional services?
Swap body parts. Place your heart back in your chest. Cardiac arrest perk. Your heart is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. You're less resistant to poison, or robots are only somewhat confused by you. But on the bright side, healing items are twice as effective. Okay. Hey, Bulka Baton. Yeah, this DLC has no music, so I'm just playing Fallout 1 and 2 music in the background.
Turn on.
You
Otherwise,
require
it's
some
just
additional services?
silent all the time. Reattach your spine. Or you can swap back and forth, depending on what you like. Your spine is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. Your torso can now be crippled again, but your strength and damage bonus thresholds have doubled. Nice. Okay. We have 9 strength now. Wow. Okay. Okay. They're all lined up and waiting for us.
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped?
I found my brain. Now you and I are going to settle things.
I recommend watching your tone with me, lobotomite. Now, your brain. Hand it over, or we'll extract it again.
I'm not handed my brain over. There's some things we should discuss.
And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you must do is surrender. With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets, chopping up the landscape and everything in it. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground for our experiments.
You think I am the lobotomite? No, for my skull houses the brain of Mobius.
That is the most insane thing I've ever heard. There's no way Mobius would condescend to step inside you. Besides, there's no way such a thing could be accomplished. It's impossible.
Nothing is impossible for science. Mesons, lasers, atoms, brainwaves, all are at my command.
You speak the truth. And the decibel variation in your voice, it is Mobius. How dare you breach the think tank? And what do you want here?
I offer a deal. Stay here, stay put, and I'll let you live.
That's no deal at all. There's a whole world beyond the crater, filled with ideas and possibilities. We could have escaped, seen it all for ourselves, tested it, prodded at it, made it squirm.
I will permit you to do this for me.
Partner with you, my foe, my rival, my foremost critic? I have a strange sensation that I would like that. How odd. Very well, partner. The think tank is at your service as long as you do not destroy us.
All right, then.
Thank you for what you have done. The helping, that is. We like that. I feel an odd emotion. Platitude? Attitude? No, wait. Gratitude. That's it.
Everybody keeps saying it's a Futurama guy. It might be. I have no idea.
As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The Sync Central Intelligence Unit was impressed by the amount of exploration the courier had undertaken. Facilities believed lost, destroyed, or ones that had simply gotten up and walked to new locations had been rediscovered by its intrepid new master. Internally, the artificial personality debated as to whether it preferred the old management to the new, and concluded that the courier's thorough approach to research and investigation was admirable and worthy of its respect.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
Next.
The Sync atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
Hey, Hamish.
Biological research station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The thing continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magneto-hydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except, he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty punishing the dishes and cups that live there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind old Jefferson, with sounds the courier brought him, created a symphonic counter-frequency that saved Big Mountain from sonic invasion in 2910. If you didn't hear about it, good. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
It's just the end of one of the DLCs next.
Always gentle and methodical. Kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X-8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical
for 22
aggression
months, man.
rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after, the stealth suit had left it, without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ, and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
Dr. Klein and the think tank remained alive, unaware of the world outside. They looped through their daily routine, none the wiser about the world beyond, although perhaps wiser was the wrong word. The world outside belonged to the courier, and if anyone would shape it, well, the courier had already called dibs.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, old world blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The Sync sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone.
Big-brained perk. Brain is back in your body, but some advanced technologies remain. Your head still cannot be crippled, but you are now 10% more resistant to addiction. Surprisingly, your damage threshold is improved by 10%. You've acquired the Big Mountain Transportal Ponder. It's capable of transporting you, and you alone, between the Mojave Wasteland and the Big Empty. To return to the Mojave or go back to Big Empty from the Mojave, simply equip the Transportal Ponder. As you would any weapon, pull the trigger and away you'll go. Note that it won't work in interiors or in combat situations, and is totally incapable of harming your enemies.
Might I be safe in the assumption?
Should we restock with anything? Nope. Stuck through it. Thank you for the 12 months, man.
For a trip to Vegas.
Sir is looking exceptionally sharp today, if sir will permit the compliment.
Okay. That was a silly DLC. Transportal Ponder Monder. It's an 8 item. Miscellaneous. Where's this stupid thing? Well, if it's a weapon, then what is it called? Not the name they said it was. Big Mountain, there it is. I already even have it equipped, apparently. Okay, do I want to keep using this thing? Keep it for now. Alright, I think this is the last DLC. Yes, enemies that aren't fucking level scaled. Dead Money's hot garbage. It was fucking terrible. Coordinates you received lead you to this canyon filled with storm-tossed wreckage. Beyond lies the divide. Lonesome Road is intended for experienced couriers. While 25 or higher, you cannot take companions with you on the road ahead, nor bring any you find out with you. You can carry whatever equipment and gear you have with you without restriction. If the journey proves too difficult, or you need to resupply, you can retrace your steps and return to the Mojave at any time. If you're prepared, then continue on into the storms of the divide. History awaits. Since we're level 50, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, does this have its own music? Seems like it. Hopeville Ballistic Defense Station. You can go home, Courier. And
18 months. Time flies when you're having fun.
Well, thank you so much, man. Thank you. Unlock maintenance access door. Maintenance access status. Inactive, inactive, inactive. This console controls access to the silo itself, but is encrypted beyond your ability to hack. You'll need to find something that can break the encryption in order to proceed. Terminal can only be unlocked by an iBot. Welder. Breathing mask. Sounds important. Find all the Ralphie the Robot posters in the Divide. Okay. Bot pod status. Maintenance department log. Commissary notice. Attention all base personnel, the automated commissary system been locked down until further notice. It turns out that the counterfeit-proof pay-chits we've been issuing to you are exactly the same size and shape as ordinary bottle caps. Until we can correct the problem, you'll have to make your purchases the old-fashioned way. Commissary reminder. That's just a reminder that all base commissary terminals draw from the same central depository. Please do not waste your time or the technicians by running from commissary to commissary. You won't get any more whiskey than you did from the first one. Hey, Eddie. But not Eddie. Hey, Tipperkern. What was that sound you played? Some kind of memory glitch? No, it wasn't your boot up sequence, it was a recording. Something about someone called Ralphie? Probably just some old data floating around in your memory, nothing to worry about. I think I could use your help getting out of here. Can you come with me?
Experiment log 369248/B. iBot Duraframe Universal Interface Override System. This is Dr. Whitley presiding. We've boosted signal gain and enlarged the overflow buffer system. That should ensure 100% connectivity and control. Eddie, whenever you're ready. Yes, success on 369248/B. Eddie was able to interface with and override the test panel in under 3 seconds. Great job, team. Now let's start on the proposal for the full rollout.
That's a recording from your development. Are you saying you can override electronic security? Only panels with a dish-shaped receiver. The console in the main room had one of those, I think. Was that the voice of your creator? What happened to him? Well, I'm sure he's fine wherever he is. Maybe you see him again one day. Alright, let's keep moving. Hey, thank you for the raid. Al's Joan, or A-L-L, I have no idea how to pronounce your name. Thank you for the raid. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Red Glare Alpha Strike? I guess this is an upgrade to some weapon or another. But welcome, everybody. Just playing some Fallout New Vegas here. We just started the Lonesome Road DLC, the last DLC. So U.S. Army combat armor. Interesting. Joe's an authority on Fallout, is he? Well, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Stim packs are made to be hoarded. That's what they're for. So I'm guessing we need this guy to open up something here. What? What are you freaking out about? Oh, we found something. Nice. So what were you streaming there? Were you streaming some Fallout or something else entirely? I guess this door's open now. iBot upgrade circuit board. Found a module on this broken iBot that can upgrade Eddie. Installing this module grants you the first rank of the Camaraderie perk, allowing Eddie to repair your currently equipped weapon once per day. This perk is accessed through Eddie's dialogue. If you find more upgrade modules, you can unlock further ranks of this perk. When you return to the Mojave, these upgrades will carry over to the original Eddie as well. Nice. Fallout 1 ain't jinxed build. Oh my. Oh my, yes, we did Fallout 1, 2 Tactics. Now, New Vegas. Is that an Armco portable reloading bench built into you? That'll be handy. It's an impressive multi-tool suite you've got. I bet I can make all sorts of stuff with that. Prepare my weapon. Yes, all the good ones. Hydraulics access level 3. Yes. Fallout 3, I have absolutely zero desire to ever touch that game ever again. And luckily my viewers didn't want me to play it either, so it worked out. That's that mod they've been working on for like 20 years, right? I think I've heard about that mod. A nail gun? 113 DPS, that's pretty good for a nail gun. Ladder, eh? Holy crap, dude. Thank you. Where's my mouse? What the... There we go. My mouse keeps freaking vanishing. This game does not alt-tab very well. Even though I'm running it in the window. Bam. There we go. Alright, well thank you so much, Landry. That's super generous of you. Also, the game just crashed. It's one way to alt-tab, I suppose. Oh, stop crash aid. Yes, 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 I know who made the game, thank you. And it crashed again. Awesome. Yeah, there's the original series of 4. Pool of Radiance, Curse of the Azure Bonds, Secret of the Silver Blades, and then Pool of Radiance, or Pools of Darkness, sorry. And then the reboot. Runes of Mithranor. Okay, can I alt-tab now without the game crashing? No. Whoa. Now Steam crashed. My computer has been extremely temperamental today. Hold on. Maybe if I just stop running it in windowed mode. $400 hours. That's a lot of hours. Updating Steam. What? Apparently Steam just patched. Thanks for the bits there. So
let's hope nothing else happens that makes you tab out, like hype about music-inducing things.
Thank you for the follow.
Oh!
Okay, now Steam won't even launch. Doomsday, thank you for gifting us up. Thank you very much, dude. Light boat.
Oh!
Thank you for the follow. Oh my god.